Recently, I've been coming out of a period where I realized that I had completely lost myself, meaning I completely let myself go. There are times in life where we realize that we have completely let ourselves go. And sometimes we have what we would consider good reasons for this. It could be because of school, it could be because of a child, it could be because of, a project that we're working on and we just needed to give it 100% of our focus. Or it could just be that we just let ourselves fall by the wayside, that we stop prioritizing ourselves, we stop being in tune with ourselves, or maybe we realize that we never were. We never really knew ourselves. We never really knew what drove us, what really makes us happy, what we're really here on this earth for. Recently, I've been coming to terms with the fact that I've been on autopilot for so long, doing the things that are expected of me, taking the next step and the next step and the next step. I haven't had time to slow down and really think about what I want, what I'm on this earth for, beyond making sure that my family's okay and my parents are proud, beyond making sure that, my family and my loved ones are taken care of. Why am I here? What am I contributing? What am I adding? And I realized that there are things that was doing that was aligned with that, but it's completely fallen short of my dreams, my goals, my vision. And so I just had to completely reassess myself. What makes me happy now? Like, I know what made me happy before, but what makes me happy now? What am I excited about? What do I want to do with my free time? And so, this video is about how do you go from a period of feeling lost, feeling like everything else but you is a priority, to getting back in alignment with yourself, with who you are, what you love to do. So the first step to really truly figuring out who you are is avoiding the hard feelings. You need to stop avoiding the fact that you're unhappy. You need to start avoiding the fact that, yes, the things that you thought would make you happy, the things that are supposed to make you happy, no longer make you happy, or no longer serve you, or no longer make you feel fulfilled. And realize that there might be something else outside of what you're doing now that brings you fulfillment, that brings you joy. And so you have to come to terms with that feeling of realizing that all these things in your life are important. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be whatever, but maybe that's not fulfilling everything that you desire. And maybe the reason for that is because you were meant for more. And please do not take this as a license to leave your husband, leave your marriage, throw your kids away, or throw the job away, but really assess. Sometimes we've put our source of happiness in other people. And at some point along the way, we realize that they can't fill that gap because they weren't meant to. And even though we can love the relationships we're in, we can love our children, we can love our job, we can love being in school, if you love being in school, we can love all those things, but that doesn't mean that we are truly at peace with who we are. And so ask yourself, are you comfortable with the way you look, with the way you show up in the world? With how you smell, with your aura, with your personality? Are you content with how you live your day-to-day life? Are you still trying to please people, or do you find happiness and joy just in you? Number 2 is to start being honest with yourself about what you want. Realizing that, yes, your 9 to 5 is great, it's stable, but you want more than this. You want a bigger job. You want more flexibility. You want more freedom. You want to be doing more impactful things and potentially a different area. And so that doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job tomorrow, but what steps can you take in order to get there? But before you get there, you need to be honest with yourself about what's missing. You need to be honest about how you're showing up in the world. Maybe you've always been in a bigger body and you're realizing that, no, I don't want to be in this bigger body anymore. Or maybe you've always been stick thin and you've realized, no, I don't want to appear this way anymore. And so, there's no right or wrong way to show up. There's no right or wrong thing to want, but you have to be honest with yourself about what you actually want from your life. Maybe you have a job and you're making $50K a year, and maybe that doesn't make you happy anymore. Maybe that you're a $100K a year type of person, or you're a $200K a year type person, and you're so tired of living small. So be honest with yourself about what you actually want from life. Number 3 is to start saying no. Like, some of us are yes men. We're always saying yes. We're always saying yes. We don't know how to say no. And I am preaching to the choir because this is something I'm actively struggling with. There are 2 things on my plate right now that do not need to be on my plate. And I need to find it within myself to say no. But as I've been trying to say no more, I realize it gives me more bandwidth for the things I want to say yes to. Saying no can mean no to the extra dessert. Saying no can mean no to snoozing your alarm. Saying no could mean no to negative and toxic relationships. Saying no could mean putting God first again. Instead of always choosing comfort, choosing what's easy. Saying no to the things that aren't serving you. Maybe another episode of a K-drama or another episode of reality TV. Is that serving you? Maybe you need to say no to that. I realize that there's some things that bring us comfort in the here and now, but they don't bring us comfort that lasts, and they don't bring us real comfort. And lastly, start saying yes. Start saying yes to the things that serve you. Start saying yes to the things that get you excited. Start saying yes to the trips. Start saying yes to, going on a walk. Start saying yes to eating healthy. Start saying yes to spending more active time with your children. Start saying yes to having more date nights. Start saying yes to healthy, positive relationships. Start saying yes to things that grow you and the person that you want to be. Start spending time saying yes to the new hairstyle, to the new outfit, to things that can bring you closer to your higher self. And that's not always related to money. You know what you're missing and what you need to take you to the next level. But finding yourself is going to require honesty. You have to take a deep look at yourself. You have to reassess the course of your life so far. And if you're not along the path that you want, you need to change the trajectory. No one else is going to do it for you.